to The Challenges of Change, the podcast where we explore the transformative journey towards self-improvement and personal growth. I'm your host, Laura, a mindset coach in the health and fitness industry, here to guide you through the hurdles that life throws at you. In each episode, we'll delve into practical strategies and insightful discussions to help you manage stress, regulate your emotions, upgrade your mindset, and ultimately reclaim your sense of worth. I'm thrilled to have you join me on this journey of change, challenges, and self-discovery. Welcome back. Have you ever had the thought, I probably just won't be good enough for this, or I'm just not that qualified, or someone else could probably do this better than me, or they probably wouldn't choose me anyways? If any of that sounds familiar, that means you probably have a protective pattern of self-rejection. And I want you to consider, have you ever asked yourself, why do you assume people don't like you before they've said anything? Why do you pull back before you can even get rejected? Why is it easier for you to blame yourself than to sit with not knowing? Is it about control? Does blame feel familiar? And how do you stop reading rejection into every situation? These are the questions we need to ponder to truly break free from a self-rejection pattern, because we create our own suffering, not intentionally, but protectively. Let me give you a couple examples. I had a client. She was very well respected in her industry. She was regularly pulled into meetings so they could get her opinion. However, she really, really, really wanted this executive position. And she kept coming to sessions and telling me, if I just work really hard, then I think I'm going to get it. So she'd pull all-nighters, she'd go above and beyond, but she never actually voiced to her superiors that she wanted it. And lo and behold, she didn't get the job. And when she brought that to me, and naturally she was crying, we were talking through it, I asked her, did they know that you wanted the job? And she said, how could they not? I was working my butt off. I'm like, that doesn't mean they know you want the job. It could just mean you're a good worker. So what was standing in the way of you actually telling them you were interested in the job? And that's when the tears really started to come. And she said, well, because I didn't want to be rejected or minimized. Of like, this girl thinks she could get the job. So she rejected herself, hoping they'd see her work and be like, oh, she should get the promotion. Or I have another client. She recently moved to a new city and she wants to make new friends. So we've been talking about getting out there and engaging in new activities where she might find people that she likes. And she went to some cooking class, and there's a few girls that she connected with. And I asked her if she'd reach out to them, and she's like, no, I don't want to bother them. And I was like, why do you think you'd be bothering them? But notice that that was her unconscious assumption, that reaching out to someone new that you just met would be a bother to them. And she's like, well, because they have busy lives. I'm like, you have a busy life? I have a busy life. It's actually easier for me when people reach out to me because I'm just so chaotic. Do you ever find it easier when people reach out to you? And she's like, well, yeah. I'm like, if not reaching out was a way to protect you, what is it protecting you from? And she already knew she had a self-rejection pattern, but she struggled to see the different patterns it showed up in. So she knew as soon as I said it like that, that was a self-rejection pattern. And she was like, if I don't reach out, she can't say no. She can't push me off. So that's me rejecting myself again, isn't it? And I'm like, it kind of sounds like it. It's hard to get rejected. Let's just call it what it is. It is hard. It's scary. It's emotional. And the need to protect ourselves from it makes sense. But I think we also have to look at things with our eyes wide open and consider, are you actually protecting yourself, or are you creating the very suffering you want to prevent? Because when you have this unconscious operating system of like, I need to protect myself, so when there's an opportunity I'm interested in, I will find a way to unconsciously, that word's super important, reject myself before someone else can. and we do it consistently. And then we wonder why we feel lonely, why we feel like people don't like us, why we don't get the promotion. We wonder why we don't get what we want, but we also don't look at what we are doing and how we are rejecting ourselves. And the first step to stop this is to get curious. Notice I didn't say judgmental. We know that place really well. Not judgment. We need to get curious and to understand why. In the moments when you're chasing something that might feel scary or that might feel like a stretch, rather than hoping your self-rejection pattern doesn't come in, assume it will. And ask yourself, if I were to reject myself, what might that look like in this situation? How do I need to prepare myself to be brave and to not abandon myself? Because that's not the answer either. But what I will tell you is two different things that have helped me. Now, I never had a huge self-rejection pattern, but when things didn't go my way, I would get frustrated. And it's two simple sayings. The first I say so many times in a day, you probably even heard it on the podcast before. What's for me will find me. I don't pretend to be God. I don't know what's best for me at all times. I have ideas of what I want and ideas of what I think would be good for me, but I am not the divine. I don't actually know the greater picture. So I might want to get a corporate workshop or a speaking engagement, or I might want my husband to get me flowers. I might hint at certain things. But if I don't get those things, it doesn't mean I did something wrong. It doesn't mean I'm the problem. It doesn't mean I'm being rejected. It means it wasn't for me. And we don't like that sometimes, but that is also what helps us prepare for what is for us. So if you act courageously and you reach out to that friend and they do reject you, that would hurt and you'd be okay. And that hurt is going to help prepare you for something else. Same thing. If you say you want the job and you don't get it, at least you are strong enough to try. Because the problem is when you are constantly and consistently rejecting yourself, you are your biggest critic. You're the biggest slave owner to yourself. You make it impossible to grow because you're constantly trying to protect yourself while also pushing yourself into a hole. What's for you will find you. And if what you get isn't what you want, well, that cues me directly into the second thing I say, which I actually think I learned from Jamie Kern Lima in her book, Worthy. Rejection is redirection. How do you know if you're going the right way in life? What happens when you take the wrong turn on a GPS? It just recalculates, right? If you wanted the promotion and you didn't get it, that is your life recalculating. It's redirecting you towards what you are meant for, what is for you. If you wanted certain friends or a certain relationship and it didn't pan out, that is life redirecting you and recalculating what is for you. If we can get out of our own way and stop feeling like our emotions are an attack on us, we create so much more freedom for us to see what's for us and enjoy our life. It's more of a game to see, ooh, does this puzzle piece fit here or does it not? But when we take it so personally, like it's a direct character assassination, it makes it really hard to be brave and to go after what we want. That's why this is the challenges of change. These are real challenges. And you can act to change them, but we can't do it from a space of self-abandonment, which is why I strongly encourage you to check out the Challenger Circle. It's our new community that is literally a done for you, grow at your pace community where you are literally peppered with pattern breaking interruptions throughout the day that take less than a minute to help rewire your brain, create freedom, and give you agency to choose how you want to lead your life. And within there, or if you don't want to join, there's 30 days for free. So you really have nothing to lose. If you don't want to join the Challenger Circle, what I would tell you to do is to practice small ticket rejections to teach your system it's okay. Nothing bad's going to happen. You're not going to lose something. It's think of it like a warm up. Like when you go to the gym, you warm up before you get into the big heavy workout, right? This is the warm up. So small rejections. Ask a restaurant for free food, or ask them if you could sample an off menu option. Go to your neighbor's house and ask if you can play in the yard. Ask to borrow something from a coworker that you don't actually need. Ask if a meeting can be moved, even if you don't need it moved. Ask for things you don't actually need just to get prepared with rejection, to teach your body that no is okay and that you are okay with that. Because if you don't practice it and the big ticket items come in life, you're going to find yourself in the same pattern, rejecting yourself, blaming yourself, and continuing to be that critic to yourself. It is much easier to do with people, which is why I encourage you to take the 30-day free Challenger Circle trial. But ultimately, you have to be the one who says, I am ready to change. I'm ready to stop perpetuating my own suffering. And I can have compassion for the fact that I learned this to protect myself. However, I'm tired of letting it continue to create and limit the life I want to build. When we become adults, we're the only ones who are actually supposed to take care of ourselves. Yeah, if you have a partner, they're technically supposed to support, but you are your own greatest cheerleader, greatest champion, parent, and coach. We have to start acting like it. If this resonated with you, please send it to a friend, send me a message. Let's get over this stuff together because we are stronger in numbers. Until next time. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of The Challenges of Change. If you're ready to stop stressing and reclaim your sense of worth, be sure to visit my website at www.changebychallenge.com. There, you'll find loads of resources, blog posts, and information on how to work with me, Laura, as your personal mindset coach. Remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Don't let burnout or any other obstacle hold you back from living your best life. Take the first steps towards positive transformation today. Thank you again for listening. Stay confident, stay inspired, and embrace the challenges of change. Until next time.